Welcome back to another video. As you guys can see by the title, today's video is all about our Umrah experience. Alhamdulillah, we completed Umrah just recently. It was
literally a last minute thing.
Yeah, it was such a spontaneous decision, and we have a lot to talk about, so I think we should get started.
Drama happened.
We got tested in so many ways.
Yeah, it's crazy, and the stories you hear from other people, how they get tested, you didn't believe that stuff like that happens, but it literally happened to us. So if you guys have been to Umrah before and have experienced the test you've had, go down below, comment, let us know. I would love to hear your story.
But before we get started, we want to give a quick mention to Nominal. Thank you so much for partnering with us on today's video. You guys know we're always wearing Nominal jewelry, and we love to mention them because they are actually so cute and very, very good quality. So Dawood's actually wearing one of their red necklaces. I mean, he wears that necklace all the time.
Yes.
You guys literally see it all the time.
The only place I don't wear it is in
the washroom.
It says Alhamdulillah.
I mean, you can't even see it there, but I'll include a close-up video.
There it is. They see it. It focused.
Imagine it doesn't say Alhamdulillah, and then they're like, you can't even read. And I also wanted to show you guys a really cute, new arrival that they have. This is like a mini, well, not mini, it's pretty big, jewelry box. And it holds a lot of stuff, you guys. This would be so cute on a vanity. There's so many different compartments that come out that you can remove and put stuff in there.
That's actually so cool.
And I recently discovered that this opens up as well, and you have more storage in here, which is so cute. Hold on.
Why didn't they get me one?
It's not for you. I just thought this would be really cute for traveling as well. Not only just on your vanity, but I feel for traveling, if you want to keep if you're going for a longer trip and you want to keep all your jewelry safe and protected.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and it's super compact, fits into your luggage.
Is it heavy?
No.
Oh, you'll meet the 23 kilograms in your luggage.
Also, it has a little baby sister, which is this one right over here. How cute is this one? So cute. It's like a keychain, so you can hang it to your purse or your keychain, and it's nice because there's been times where I take off my wedding ring for a certain reason, whatever, I'm on vacation.
This would have been sick if you had it for Umrah.
I know. On Umrah, you can't wear jewelry. So this would have been perfect to just pop in my wedding band and my wedding ring and any necklace that I'm wearing and just close it.
Or if you had this too, it works as
well.
But
this is more practical in a quick trip. You know, you don't want to carry a huge whatever. So this would have been so cute. It has a ring area and then a little pocket. And it hangs wherever you want to hang it. I'll link everything down below for you guys as always, and you can use code Jasmine to save.
Make sure you use code Jasmine to save. Okay.
That's what I said.
Okay. Use it.
So yeah, I'll leave all the links down below for you guys. Okay, so let's start with the actual Umrah video. So I think the first thing to mention is that we never really, sadly, thought about going to Umrah. It never really crossed our mind to go to Umrah. It was never really
yeah, for us it was more like Hajj.
We always thought about Hajj as being the goal because it's mandatory, obviously. I think what's really interesting is that we grew up not being told that Umrah was really important as well, and a great opportunity to get familiar with the process of Hajj and really prepare yourself spiritually.
That's so true. We never really grew up at all knowing that. I just started learning about Umrah maybe
a few years ago.
Me
too. I think last year when Umayya and Mo were visiting us, they were oh, we're going to Umrah again, let's go together. And we were Umrah, You know, I think that's the first time it was oh, Umrah, we should probably go to Umrah.
Yeah.
So we weren't able to go at the time, I think, because we had another trip planned. Yeah. So we weren't able to do that. That essentially planted a seed in our head thinking okay, we live in the UAE. It's so close to go to Umrah. It's only a 2 or 3 hour flight.
It could be just a 2-day trip.
Fast forward to January of this year, since it was still in our head, okay, we should go to Umrah. The weather is getting nicer. It's a little bit more bearable. It's not hot or anything like that. Our friends from Canada actually messaged us and were hey, we're coming to Dubai for a month and we want to make Umrah part of our vacation. We really want to go to Umrah since we're in the area.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we were yeah, why not?
Why go just me and you when we could go with a group and
especially because we are very clueless individuals. You guys, when it comes to Umrah, we were clueless. We had no idea.
The purpose of this video is literally talk about our experience because there's nothing really out there on YouTube or anything like that people can look up. The videos we looked up,
they weren't easy to understand, and they were talking more about the specifics of performing Umrah, not the experience as a whole and what to look out for and that kind of stuff. So I felt we needed to make a video just to talk about the experience and kind of make it a little bit more familiar for you guys, and for anyone that wasn't thinking about Umrah to really think about it, because it was an amazing experience. So we decided to go with our friends, and when they came to Dubai, we just kind of got carried away with like, they got carried away with their vacation, we got carried away with work.
And they have a 10-month-year-old.
10-month-year-old. 10-month-old baby.
10-month-old baby.
Yeah, so they have a baby, so it made it a little bit more of, not a struggle, but just more things that you had to think about to plan this trip. So when we were trying to plan it, everything kept getting postponed.
Postponed.
And then we ended up planning it literally the night before.
Literally together, but the night before.
We ended up booking for an 8 a.m. flight. So because of their baby's sleep schedule, they preferred a flight that was later on in the day, so they booked a different airline.
We did it 8 a.m. because we didn't want to miss a whole day.
And we wanted to be able to perform potentially Umrah the same day.
I've spoke to a lot of people before we went to this trip, and they told me like, hey, be aware you're going to get tested in some kind of way. This is my story of being tested. This is this person's story of being tested. So
and you hear that a lot with Umrah.
Like, what do you mean tested? Like, how is this test going to happen? So when someone explained that to me, I kept it in my mind, but then when I went towards there, I forgot about the test.
So we definitely did get tested, and it's very interesting actually, and it really tests your patience as a Muslim. But essentially we got to the airport at 6 a.m. We were both dead tired, but super excited and pumped and ready. We get to like the teller, like the ticketing area, and he's like, hi, how are you? Can I please see your passport? Blah, blah, blah. So we hand him everything, and he's like, what's the purpose of your travel? We're like, for Umrah. And he was like, okay, great. Can I see your Umrah visa? I was like, yeah, for sure. Like, here you go. Because the night before I had applied through the Saudi visa website, and I made sure to select Umrah as our purpose of travel, and I did it for both of us, and it was there. So I gave him the PDF that I got, and then he's like, ma'am, like this flight is for Umrah only, like Umrah visa holders only, and your visa is actually a tourist visa. We're
like, what?
I'm like, excuse me? At 6 a.m. I was like, what? And I was literally like, absolutely not. Like, I booked specifically this flight to go to Umrah. So it was a back and
forth argument.
Yeah, and my visa, I specifically selected Umrah. So like, I don't, like, what visa am I supposed to have? I literally selected Umrah. So I was literally so confused. And when you're like tired and confused and angry and there's money on the line, you just start getting really riled up. And I was trying my best not to, because I just wanted to keep everything like zen and calm and like spiritual, but it's hard. It's so hard.
I think we did a good job, but yeah.
We didn't freak out, but I was like, definitely my patience was being tested.
What do we do now? Like, we just missed this flight?
He's like, even Saudis, like Saudi nationalities cannot get on this flight unless they have an Umrah visa. And I'm
because
like, how do you get an Umrah visa?
Pretty much is like a Umrah terminal.
Yeah,
it's specifically for Umrah. So you need to apply for a visa, which you can only get from a travel agent. You
can still go to Umrah with the visa that we had, the tourist visa, but we had to get onto a regular tourism
so this was
flight.
A special flight.
Yeah, this was a special flight.
And mind you, we did get warned on their website
while buying the ticket.
This is an Umrah visa flight, but we thinking Umrah visa, we applied for it. We're good.
We thought we had an Umrah visa.
So that's something you guys should learn from us.
Yes. If you have a tourism visa for the purpose of Umrah, go on a regular flight. If you have a Umrah specific visa from a travel agent, you can go on those special Umrah flights.
We were talking to the supervisor, and he said this, okay, go to the ticket office. There's other flights going at like 2 p.m.
Yeah, so you'll be able to switch your ticket. You may have to pay a difference, but they'll make it happen.
You just pay the difference. They're like, okay, so, whatever, halas. Like,
that was the first
It's our mistake. It's our mistake, and that's it.
So we went up to that ticketing office, and
this is where we get tested.
Yes.
This is the part we get tested.
Because we've already accepted the fact that we effed up, right? So now we get up to that ticketing office, and then she's like, I don't know who told you this, but you can't change this flight, and you can't even reschedule a different one.
Because we're on a budget airline.
Yeah, so she was like, basically...
And we paid an arm and a leg for that airline.
Yeah, your ticket is donezo. Like, you can't reimburse anything, you can't change the flight, you can't pay a difference, nothing. Like, your ticket's canceled. You're telling me so like almost $1,000 just went like down the toilet. Like, we don't... Because
of something that... we
had no experience.
She's like, well, clearly it states that, it says this, that.
I'm like, I understand, ma'am. I was like, I understand, ma'am. But like, I don't know what to tell you to convince you that we had no idea. And I think there should be some sort of way to at least like you know, be able to book a different flight, like, or and just pay the difference. Like, I'll pay the difference if it's more expensive or whatever, but just be able to transfer that flight.
And they're like, okay, khalas. Like, I looked at her, I'm like, khalas, what's the next flight?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, the next flight to, what's the city?
Jeddah.
The next flight to Jeddah is at Saturday at 2 p.m. I'm like, wait, that's when we come back. I'm
like, that's when our trip is over. Like, we come back on Saturday.
Well...
Yeah, and I was like, oh god. And then
what do we do?
We started thinking of like different cities that we could land in, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, it's all far apart. And then at that point, we're like, khalas, we're not welcome. Like, God told us, you're not allowed to come. This is not your time to go. That's it.
And that's how the shaitan plays with you, bro. Like, it literally, we were thinking like, maybe this is not our time.
Like, pretty much what I learned from this, I'm getting tested financially.
Which is something that bothers Dawood a lot. And my test was not knowing not having control of the situation. I didn't care about the money. I cared more about not having control of the situation and not being able to get onto a flight. Like, that freaked me out. So we step outside of the office and we call a different airline and we book with a different airline at an even different airport. We were in a completely different airport.
So we're like, khalas, we're doing this.
Yeah.
We're going, and then we're like, yo, wait, we just got tested. Like, this is our test. Like,
yeah, it clicked.
Yo, like, let's just go, khalas. So I'm getting tested financially. You're getting tested like for your patients or whatever. And we just took a taxi and we went. So we bought a whole new ticket, just one way.
Because we ended up that the back we would be able to use our ticket.
And this was the flight. This is where it's crazy. This is the flight that our friends are on.
Yeah.
So they didn't get to go on that flight that we were on, and it was.
Thank God they didn't. Because they lost their tickets too.
Yes, and then us. That's why we got tested in that way specifically. I just create subhanallah how that worked.
Yeah, and so we ended up booking the same flight as our friends. We took a taxi all the way to another airport. And we met up with them there, and it was just like, okay, finally relief. Like, we're actually getting onto a flight. And then
this flight was like 5 hours different, so we had to go to that airport. We chilled for a few hours.
Yeah, so it's basically like our day was basically gone. So the idea of performing Umrah the same day that we arrived was kind of like out the window. So let's talk about Umrah itself, performing Umrah. First thing we did was obviously check into our hotels. The hotel was really great. I'll list all the details of everything we did.
We didn't perform Umrah as soon as we got there.
No.
We went to our hotel.
We kind of rested. We ate a little bit because we were hungry.
We started understanding what we have to do to perform, reading.
We were kind of absorbing everything around us because it's a very different feeling when you're there. It's a very different culture. There's people from all over the world.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's wow. It's definitely an experience. So you're just absorbing and taking everything in as soon as you land.
So many people.
Yeah, a lot of people.
So many.
So also I was very worried about performing Umrah because I was doing research and there was just a lot of information that it was just hard to remember everything. So I had a PDF that I was just referring to and studying beforehand because I knew that we were going to perform Umrah the next day. So I was just studying that as much as possible to be able to perform Umrah correctly. We really wanted to see the Kaaba for the first time, and this was something that I've dreamt of for so long, and it's just one of those things that just gets you so excited and you just want to really experience it. We had no idea where the Kaaba was.
Nothing. I thought it was just in the open. That's how you see it.
I thought it was just an open area and it's just the Kaaba in the middle, but it's actually in a masjid, and I don't know why I didn't know that, but I've seen pictures of just the Kaaba on the inside. I really wanted to capture our first reaction because I've seen videos of people capturing their first reaction. It's the cutest thing ever, and it's just so nice to look back on because these are memories that you'll obviously remember forever, but the details of how you felt, you won't remember that because there's just once it's over, you'll remember the basic general idea, but those little tiny details, you won't remember them unless you see them on camera or video.
If your parents ever filmed you when you were super young, for some reason you recall those memories because you see them
on camera.
So it's the same idea here.
So we really wanted to capture that, and we were obviously not in ihram because we hadn't passed the miqat area to declare our ihram. So we were in regular clothes. I was in abaya, which is regular clothes. So you're not allowed downstairs in the masjid area. You're allowed upstairs if you're not in ihram. So that's where we went upstairs, and mind you, we held the camera here, it was in wide angle lens, so it wasn't in our face. We held it all the way from. Have you seen this video? You guys. It's on Instagram, and we got a lot of hate for it, and also a lot of love, but a
lot of love, a lot of hate, and I've seen other people's videos at Umrah They did not
No
get
one
the,
gets any
no
hate.
one gets the hate.
And
But
then we
for
got
some
so
reason,
much
us,
hate.
it's like, literally, we're holding the camera like this.
And we held it from the hotel all the way to
Because we had
the
no
masjid.
idea where the...
We didn't know where the Kaaba was,
Yeah, we
so
didn't
we
know
were
where the
like,
Kaaba
we
was.
better have the camera ready in case we see the
Okay,
Kaaba.
is it there? Is it there? Is it
Yeah,
there?
we kept like, going into lines and we're like, oh, we're gonna see it now. Like wasn't paying attention to the camera. I just wanted to capture it for ourselves. I wasn't even planning on posting it, by the way. I just wanted to capture it for ourselves and for our families to show them because we were so excited. And we are one of the first out of our families to go to see the Kaaba. Your dad hasn't performed Hajj. My dad's the only one that has performed Hajj out of our families. So it was a new experience that we felt proud of. So once we saw it for the first time, it was like, whoa, the emotions that hit you. It's like
boom.
Yeah,
all
it's
at
a
once.
it looks like you're seeing a painting, like something that is not worldly. There's so many people, but it's so quiet.
Yeah,
Listen, anything that we put online, we know that there is people, they're gonna have differing opinions about what we do, and that's totally fine. But this is the way I see it, right? We got so many messages after posting that video of people saying, like, you have made me want to go and perform Umrah. You have sparked something in me that has made me like, aww.
Yeah, it's such a you guys don't understand the power of social media. You guys don't understand the amount of power we have and the good stuff we do.
The influence that we have on people, especially in Islamic perspective, is so important.
Like the amount of people that come to Jasmine and be like, I wore the hijab because of you. Like you motivated me to wear the hijab. Like, and Jasmine's like, and this happens a lot.
And if I listen to the hate that I receive online of people saying, I don't wear hijab properly, I don't represent hijab properly, blah, 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 these people would not have been inspired to put on the hijab. So I view this video in the same way. Like, maybe I inspired someone to actually look into Umrah and go. Or maybe I inspired someone to look into Islam because they were like, what is this? What's going on? Why are they doing this? And Allah knows our intentions. Only Allah knows our intentions. And that's the end of it. So
it was an awesome video. I love my reaction. It was really genuine and it was cute.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend you guys to go to Umrah. So let's continue our story of Umrah and what happened and all that.
The first step was obviously to, declare our ihram. So since we weren't performing Umrah,
And guys, I was so nervous about this. I was so nervous to mess up. Like, ask her.
Yeah.
Super nervous. Even the day before. But you were way more confident. So yeah, no problem. We'll go and do it. For me, I was like...
I wasn't confident. I was confident in the fact that I would figure it out eventually because I was studying it. He wasn't studying it. He was relying on me to study it. So that's why you were not confident. But the first step is to declare your ihram, right? Because you have to be in a state of ihram to perform Umrah.
Some people are in the plane and then the pilot was like, hey, like...
We're in the Miqat area, you can declare your ihram. But since we weren't performing Umrah the same day, we didn't have to do that. So
people are wearing their ihram and everything.
Yeah, so the next day we went to express Miqat area, which is a masjid basically. And that's one of the areas that you can declare your ihram if you want to perform Umrah again or if you want to perform for the first time. Everything becomes haram. Like, for example, your husband and wife, you can't...
Yeah, I remember things like there's a hair in your... you can't pluck your face.
You can't pluck any hairs. You can't look in a mirror for vain reasons. You can't... your husband and wife no longer become husband and wife. I remember at one point I accidentally looked at myself in the mirror. On a taxi, I looked at myself in the side mirror. I'm like, oh, shoot. Did I just break it? He's like, did I just break my ihram? I'm like, you're good. Don't worry. But it was just a very unique experience because you're just so worried about breaking your ihram, but obviously it's the intention that matters. So we got back, we started doing our tawaf, and the tawaf experience was wow.
Me and Jasmine went and did this. Honestly, your mind just empties and anything you wanted to ask God, to astaghfirullah, anything was all happening. Your brain just becomes empty and that's all your focus was. I wasn't thinking about anything else. At some points, I just looked at my surroundings and see how everyone's there for the same purpose. And then I just get back into it. Yeah,
you're just in the zone and you're just in a wavelength with everyone. Everyone's just going together and it's just... You just feel this sense of unity and this sense of worship, and it's just a really wow experience.
The only time that it was a little bit tough is when you get near groups that came together, and the groups always want to stick together. So if they lose someone, they just they panic.
Start elbowing. Yeah,
so if you're ever there, stay away from the groups. Wow, it's the short people. It's the short people that jam into you because they're the ones that are the most worried of losing their group.
Yeah, that's so true. And then also, if you want to get closer to the Kaaba or potentially touch the Kaaba, it gets very aggressive there, which really sucks because it takes away from the experience. But I did not even try to get near there because I just wanted to be like, you know, about ibadah and about really worship rather than like trying to touch the Kaaba and push our way through.
This was such a beautiful, beautiful
the
experience.
tawaf was wow. The tawaf was like a wow experience. And then after that, we obviously had to do the prayer, and then we did the Safa and Marwa. Safa and Marwa is basically where you go from one mountain to another. It's indoors nowadays, but before it used to be outdoors.
It's weird. It's crazy how they did it.
Yeah, the way they structured the masjid to accommodate for that is crazy. But it's between two mountains. You have to go 7 times between Safa and Marwa, and we thought it meant, because of the way they built it in like a circular way where you kind of go up the mountain, then you come back. It's kind of just like rotating. We thought it meant like a full circle was one go on the Safa and Marwa, whereas once you hit 1, that's 1. Once you hit back, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But we did 14 because we thought it was one like full circle.
It took us literally 2 hours to do it. And our friends, they did it on a wheelchair because they had the baby.
Yeah.
And they finished in like 30 minutes.
And I was like, how are you guys done? And then they were like, we finished. Like, what do you mean? And then later on, I realized like, oh, we just did an extra 7 for no reason.
Yeah.
So maybe hopefully that plays a good thing on our roll. But yeah, basically we did an extra 7. But that one was, I don't know if it's because we did an extra 7.
It was hard.
It was hard. It was really hard.
Like, I was barefoot walking, crowded.
Yeah. And at one point, Dhuhr prayer was happening, and I had no idea because we didn't hear the adhan like at that time. Everyone stopped. Like,
and I'm walking, I'm bumping into people.
Like, when I tell you, it was a sudden stop. It wasn't like gradually everyone's like stopping. Like, it's packed, so everyone went boom like this, and I was like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? I started panicking because
and like at that point, I don't know if I have to, because there's a woman beside me. Am I allowed to pray beside you?
Yeah, it was a very like.
Am I allowed to pray beside you? Like,
I don't know. So everyone stopped and just immediately was like, Allahu Akbar, and I was like, what's going on? I was like literally so confused, and I was like, oh Dawood, it's prayer time. Shoot, what do we do? How do we pray? Like, do we just pray beside each other? Like, what are the rules? Like, I was like, I didn't know, so we were just kind of like, we just joined the prayer as is, like where we were. And like, when I tell you, it's like the coolest experience to see everyone like rising together and lowering together.
That was so
and
emotional.
Literally, it was such a crazy experience. Like, I've never seen anything like that or experienced anything like that in my life. And you just feel the sense of unity and just devotion to God. Like, that was, everyone's goal was just to devote themselves to God. And we did that, and it was just like surreal. It was such a nice experience.
During this walk for Safa and Marwa, literally like we're astaghfirullahallah, Allah, like asking for, doing our du'as, all that kind of stuff. So
that's when also we made specific du'as for our family and friends and for you guys and like everyone in our like community and like, you know, in our circle. Especially for us, like du'as for us personally, things we wanted and we asked for and we needed help with. That was the time that we really did that, and that was a very humbling experience. Just kind of like dedicating that time. So don't cry. No, it got very, very emotional there for sure. Like, it was a very emotional time, and we really loved that part. It was very, very nice. And then after Safa and Marwa, the procedure is to do taksir, which is basically the whole concept of shaving your hair or trimming your hair to kind of break your ihram. We didn't know like how that happened, but apparently like there's a lot of like salons around for men.
There's a lot of people on the street that cut your ass.
Yeah, they will literally ask you like, are you done your ihram? Let me do your taksir for you. So there was one.
But you gotta pay them.
Of course. There was one right underneath our hotel, so Dawood just kind of like went in there and he did like a trim.
The worst haircut I've ever had in my life.
It wasn't that bad.
He ruined my hair, man.
It wasn't that bad. He trimmed his hair because.
I'm just kidding, guys.
Why didn't you shave your head again?
I didn't shave my head because I recently shaved my head.
Oh, vain. So vain of you. So he trimmed his hair. And then for me, I just had to cut like a piece of my hair.
Yeah, for Umrah, you don't have to buzz your head.
Yeah, you don't have to. But for Hajj, I believe it's necessary. So, I cut a piece of my hair at home and in the hotel, and then he did it in the salon, and then that was pretty much it.
So the craziest part is I wasn't allowed to look at her. Like
during ihram, like we weren't husband and wife during ihram. It was very, very weird to not be husband and wife for like a good 4 hours or whatever.
What do you mean it took longer than 4 hours? It took us about like 5 hours to perform.
Because we performed an extra 7.
And because we were with a kid and friends.
So we needed the breaks in between for the baby and like changing the diaper and
but
whatever.
Mashallah for her, she killed it. She killed it. She did it with a baby. Wow.
Way to go, Arya.
Let's.
Yeah, no, she killed it. I don't think I would have been able to perform with a baby. Like, he was a chill baby though, Smalla. Like, he was very, very good. But yeah, that's after we performed Umrah, we were just so like at peace and just happy and, you know, excited and proud that we performed Umrah.
But the thing is, what I learned also is you forget this is a masjid at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like you go like even on Friday. Oh my God, Friday.
Whoa.
Oh, we go in there just to like chill there, you know, do du'as, pray, everything like that. But there's a huge lecture that happens with everybody goes there, and our flight was like at a certain time.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, we can't stay
So
here
we
for
thought
long.
we would go pray Friday prayers and then leave for the
There's
airplane.
no way you could get out.
There's no way.
So
Like,
we left early. We had to.
yeah, it was just a crazy experience, but it was just so cool how everyone was just like swarming in and just wanted to pray in front of the Kaaba. And the coolest thing, you guys, is that you don't have to know where the direction of the Kaaba is.
Every single direction there is.
You're just praying towards literally what you pray.
But just seeing the
every
Kaaba
day.
for the first time and like the house of God, you're like, whoa,
Yeah,
this
it's such a beautiful, beautiful feeling.
amazing.
Yeah, but yeah, that was basically our Umrah experience. We got back home, we felt refreshed, we felt good. It really inspired us to like view Umrah as not something that was like
I want to go back
impossible.
again. That's
Yeah,
what I want to do again.
we always felt like Umrah and Hajj was like an impossible like task for older people. Like if you have already lived your life and you want to be a good Muslim now and you want to
Yeah, I remember like
get rid of your sins, you go to
remember
Umrah.
we
or
were
Hajj.
talking to like friends and stuff, like they're like, yeah, like we want to go to Umrah or we want to perform Hajj.
They
They're
were
like,
like,
what?
At this age, you know that you have to stop this, and you have to change your life, and this is something that older people do. And we were like, why? Like, why is that?
Why can't that be like this now?
Yeah, why can't I go and try to be a step closer to Allah at this age? Like, why is it only like reserved for older people?
Yeah, like
It's not.
this is where I come back to the point where we didn't know what Umrah was, because this
Yeah.
is the mentality we were
Raised in, yeah. And it's really sad because you do not invite yourself to the house of God. Allah invites you there. So if you have this feeling to go, that means you are specifically picked and invited to go. And I think that's like the biggest blessing, and you should definitely go if you have the chance.
If you have the chance, you have the intention to go, you have the funds to go,
Go
and do it.
Do it. Because we were taking vacations left and right, and we were like, what excuse do we have to not go to the best place that we could possibly go for our iman?
And guys, I've made dua to some friends, and the craziest thing, the dua came like, they're like, yo, like,
It's
this
true.
happened.
Yeah, it happened.
Like, it happened.
Almost everything we
I'm
asked
like,
for has happened
what?
so far. Like, it's like, alhamdulillah, it's been like such a crazy experience, and we're so thankful to be able to experience it and to be able to share it with you guys as well.
So all we're trying to do is inspire you guys. If you have the funds to go and do it. We're not here scholaring and teaching teaching you guys, because at the end of the day, that's not our job. But you know, we're normal humans, day-to-day lives, have our busy lifestyle, and most people are like that, and that most people are like us. So this is the type of video we want to do, to show you guys you can do it.
Yes. So if you guys have any questions or comments, or if you want to share your experience of Umrah, down below, definitely leave it.
You know what else helps a lot? When you guys like our videos.
Yes.
Please give a thumbs up. I know you guys are watching and let's like it, but forget to like the video. It really helps if you like this video. It helps our video perform and it reaches more people.
And if you're not subscribed and you watch us often, we would love if you guys could join our little family.
And especially if you made it this far in the
Yes.
video and you're not subscribed, come on.
So thank you guys so much for watching. We hope this helped some of you guys.
Make sure to check out Nominal. We're going to leave it down in the description box below. And use the discount code.
We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye, guys. I just covered your face.
Bye.
Bye, guys.